Welcome to this Black Moon Lilith in the sign of Scorpio reading. Now, I'm drawn very much so to Black Moon Lilith's energy. I'm fascinated with it, to be truthful. She is the scorned feminine. She holds a lot of anger, injustice. She was rejected from the Garden of Eden. She was Adam's first wife, but because she didn't succumb to his sexual demands, she was cast out. So she always holds a wound of rejection and not being good enough. And there's always a lot of bad press around that feminine energy. Black Moon Lilith is also linked to the feminine archetypes, where they have been shone upon, a light's been shone upon them that has been of a disservice to the masculine, a suppressed feminine. It's been through history, it's been through religion, it's been through all beliefs. And I feel like she's trying to shout a message to say, come on, feminine, it's time to rise now. And on the 20th of December, she comes out of the side of Scorpio. She's been in there for quite some time, a few months, and she's saying it's time to rise. When she's in Scorpio, she goes to the depth of our psyche. And now when she steps her toes on the 20th into Sagittarius, where this new moon happens on the 20th, she's saying it's time to light your fire again. It's time to move forward and leave the past behind. So let's see what Black Moon Lilith has to say. Throat chakra, Capricorn energy. Capricorn energy is authoritarian. It's ruled by Saturn, the disciplinarian, the control, possible manipulation. I'm looking at this from an authoritarian energy. And if you look about the patriarchal energy, this is what I feel. This is the lower expression, by the way, guys. This is not naming and shaming all Capricorns, because it's a beautiful energy. But the lower expression is control, fear of instability. And the mythology around Saturn, who rules Capricorn, is he also feared being overthrown by his own children. So I believe he ate them. I think that was the mythology around that. Anyway, there's all this rejection, abandonment, not being good enough. And this is why Capricorn, as an archetype, is the hardest worker in the zodiac, because it will strive to be the best. Not so much in an egotistical way, but it will put the work in, sometimes to its own detriment. So this is where we're letting go of some old beliefs around control, maybe some anger around authorities, leadership. I mean, you see that on a global scale, but look around in our own psyche, in our own world, where we've had to fear rejection, abandonment, being overthrown, not feeling safe. We just have to look at the world. Capricorn is an earth sign, so it's always ruled by stability, by money. Again, that's another reason why it's the hardest worker, because it always wants to have enough to provide in our world, because money makes the world go around, apparently. And money is power. And this is where we've let go of some old patriarchal wounds around greed, manipulation, the rich and the poor, the big divide. Okay, guys, what else does Black Moon Lilith wants to say? Look at this beautiful energy. Your soul magic, your spiritual magic, sublimation. Now, in this deck, we have about 11 stages of alchemy. We are turning lead into gold in this deck. And this is the process of what we have with the tools that we are given when we are born. We've got an opportunity to turn our adversities, our trauma, our challenges into gold. And that's a very Capricornian energy, a higher expression. We'll get rid of this, don't need that. Let's just put a practical plan in place. Well, this is on a spiritual dimension. Look at that eagle. Very high vibrational energy, this card, where you're risen, you're rising. This is soul. This is a soul contract. This is you rising above something. You've risen above something. Let me just read you a little bit from this sublimation energy. The number is 40 on the card. So again, 4. So 40. So it goes down to number 4. 4 is actually about stability, foundation. If you think about 4 walls, they're very structured, they're very safe. So this is the spirit and vibration and frequency are inevitable superpowers we all possess. It's funny I talk about frequency because that came up again in that new moon energy about what our frequency is and where we have to say no to low vibes, energy drainers, that kind of thing. Again, the link will be in the description to that new moon energy. When you are in alignment, these spiritual forces are magnetic. They draw and they manifest your experience on this physical plane. When the sublimation oracle card appears, you are activating your light body. The belief is that you have a spiritual field surrounding your physical form, acting as a higher vessel. The ancient Egyptians called this the Merkaba, which is Hebrew for the chariot. When you are aligned and loving your soul's purpose, your light body will vibrate higher, drawing in support, abundance, joy, and elation. You can navigate your reality with no resistance, suffering or fear. This is the true spiritual empowerment. I'll read that again. You can navigate your reality with no resistance, with no suffering or no fear. And this is this energy of Capricorn where we are told to fear. Everything that we see and we're controlled by is either lack, fear, war, conflict. This is on a global level, but look at it in our own personal circles. Who are you around that might be in this energy, that's vibrating at this fear-based energy? And it's not matching your frequency anymore. You are abundant joy and happiness. And where might you have to put them boundaries in? So yeah, very much linking to this energy. And remember, these are the energies of the Black Moon Lilith, and there's Adam. So he's Adam, the dark divine father of creation. Father of creation. And this is what was created. Remember when he cast out Lilith? She was scorned. She wasn't good enough because she didn't succumb to his demands. He wanted somebody to sing to his tune, to control, to manipulate. And that's why Eve fit the bill. Lilith didn't. She was that divine, fiery feminine that's been suppressed for thousands upon thousands of eons of years. And she's now ready. And that's what she's done in Scorpio. She's dug deep. She's released herself. She's healed the emotional wounds she needed to. And now as she steps into Sagittarius, she's going to be lighting her fire again. Pluto. So this says endings and regeneration. Now, in order for something to birth anew, the new Lilith, the new feminine, the old has to fall away. Endings. 2025 has always been about endings. It adds up to 9 universal year. Pluto is currently doing a 20-year stint in the sign of Aquarius. Pluto will shift things and transform things. He rules over Scorpio. So he's coming in to transform them old beliefs that we are not good enough and the masculine and feminine are equal. Before that comes in, there's a lot of endings of grief, sorrow, because we can't take that with us. It's too heavy now. But also relationships, habits that no longer serve us are coming in to be transformed. What else do we have, Lilith? Because there's the Phoenix rising. She is going to, in the sign of Sagittarius, she being Black Moon Lilith, she's going to rise like the Phoenix, but she needs that fire. And that's where we get that fire from, the Kundalini energy. So by February, when we're starting this big reset, Saturn, Neptune in Aries, another fire sign, she's there. She said, come on, we've got this. Let's rise like the Phoenix. Let's rebirth this new masculine and feminine equally this time. Let's make this reset. Let's lead this country, this world, ourselves from a more balanced masculine and feminine. Let go of the fear of control, manipulation, lies, greed, the injustice. What else do we have? Mercury. Now, Mercury is the communication planet. Mercury currently is in the sign of Sagittarius. I'm just looking at my notes. So again, in that fire sign. And then he steps into Capricorn. So this is where it's going to be structured. It's going to be structured. It's going to be stable. I'm loving this energy. Communication and truth. You're going to see a lot of truth here on the global scale. But there's also a lot of truth coming in our own personal worlds. Whether this is just an insight that we've got. Because remember, we've gained a lot of wisdom. With Sagittarius energy, we've been in the heavy Sagittarius energy. We've gained a lot of wisdom and knowledge. But we've also gained some clarity of what we believe and what we don't, what's truth and what's illusion. And this is where our mind has changed. It shifts perspective. We're seeing things from a higher perspective with Black Moon Lilith. And here's the nodes of the moon. The nodes of the moon are like a south pole and a north pole to the moon. The North Pole being our destiny, what we are trying to aim for, our true north. And the South Node is our karma, what is coming to cleanse. It's always associated with our eclipse energies. And the eclipse energies and the North and South Node are in signs of Pisces, North Node, Virgo, South Node. So we've all been working with these energies, Pisces and Virgo. These are daily habits, responsibilities, where boundaries are needed, spirituality, illusions. These are health. Both Pisces and Virgo are health-related energies. And we could have been holding a lot of this past life energy, a lot of anger, resentment in our physical body. If you think about the demands of the feminine, certainly in our root chakra, in our sacral chakra, the lower feminine energies, this is where it could have been playing out physically as well. The womb, aches, pains, problems. I'm also drawn to the Pisces energy, which rules our lymphatic system. Also rules the feet and the toes. So again, look for any aches, pains, and it's just wanting you to acknowledge it, release it, cleanse it, detoxify. Pisces is water. It wants to detoxify. So our health habits might need to have changed this year or are needing change. What else do we have? And there's Eve. And this says, the divine feminine awakening. This is what it's all about. She's wakening up. That's beautiful. I'm going to, before I finish, just end on a goddesses, gods and guardians energy. If you're liking this, guys, do hit that subscribe button. One message. Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. Pele, this came up in the new moon in Sag, fire energy, of course it would. And this is light your fire, the Kundalini rising, the divine feminine, wakening up again to match her gorgeous masculine energy. And we have the Avalon Prince, let's have a look, the Avalon Priestess, intuitive awakening. And we have Qadesh. Look at that. Lioness, look what's above my card. She's putting her gold crown back on. She's turning lead into gold. Her sexual energy, her Kundalini spark, fire, creativity. She's channeling this in a new creative way. Instead of that old Black Moon Lilith anger, resentment, control, fear, injustice. She's awakening, guys. You're awakening. Now, it doesn't have to be gender specific. This is it. We all need the masculine and feminine balance. It's waking up. We're getting softer. How beautiful. We're opening our heart to receive the feminine. But also we've got our feminine power in our root chakra. And saying no where we need to say no to. Well, okay guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Take good care. Bye.